my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra, and for today's video I'm going to be doing getting over it, decluttering obsession. So this video was actually I got the idea from a comment from one of my viewers, so thank you so much. And I kind of wanted to, this isn't kind of in continuation with my previous video that I made. My bag was a plastic bag. I think that's my most viewed video. Not sure why. I guess everyone really likes knowing that I had a plastic bag for a purse. I'm glad that like a really bad situation turned into such a good thing, you know, having such a highly viewed video. I think at the moment it's like ranking at like 1.3k views. So thank you so much everyone who's seen the video. It means so much to me. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing, disclaimer, I was extremely obsessed with decluttering and minimalism, hence pretty much my whole channel. It kind of spiraled out of control, I think, by the third year. The first 2 years, I definitely saw a lot of benefit in terms of like getting my shit together, but I think by like the third year, I still wasn't quite where I wanted to be, and I think, you know, the decluttering was kind of a manifestation of that. It was just kind of like the things that I wanted to do. I felt like I kept using the excuse that I hadn't decluttered enough as the excuse as to why I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. So it's kind of like where the obsession first started. So like number one, where the obsession first started, it was kind of like the practical feeling I got from having less and less things, like that good feeling. I got kind of addicted to it and I thought that the more I decluttered, the more I could like reoccur that feeling. But I think there's like with all things there's a limit, and taking it too far was just becoming really unhealthy. I wasn't getting the same high because I was going into a deficit. So you kind of need to know where to draw the line. Once you've hit a deficit, you're not going to generate any better feelings of decluttering, and you need to stop. So number two, the addiction. So let's take a look at what the addiction was. So I felt really addicted to the feeling of decluttering, and I felt like having less and having more of less was the only way that I could make myself happy, which is not true, because the decluttering later on, as I kind of went even deeper into minimalism, I found is actually a byproduct of being busy with things that really do make you happy, and you shouldn't just be decluttering for the sake of decluttering. So kind of like why I was addicted. So that feeling of having less was initially bringing me happiness, and I kind of wanted to keep making that feeling happen again and again. When I decluttered, I kind of had a sense of fulfillment, you know, oh, I managed to get rid of this, what else can I get rid of? And I had a sense of identity. I felt like when I decluttered, I was a better minimalist, and I felt like that was a really big part of my identity when I was in this decluttering frenzy. But I just want to say that, address those three things. Other things can bring you happiness, things that are your passion, or you have a hobby or something. Number two, about like the sense of fulfillment, you can get that from other things. It shouldn't be from how little you own. Let's be honest, it's not really an accomplishment. And the other three, a sense of identity. You are a minimalist if you identify as being a minimalist. You're not a minimalist because of how many number of objects you have in a certain category. That if you believe you're a minimalist, you are a minimalist. Okay, let's move on. So number three, actually, if you don't move on to the next step beyond minimalism, and you cling on to minimalism, the act itself, you're actually using it as a crutch and not as a tool that it was intended to be. So what I mean by that is, now that you've decluttered the things that you've decluttered, or freed up the time that you wanted to free up, what were you going to do with that time? If you just keep spending your time making more time or decluttering and creating more space, but that's all that you're focusing on, you've kind of missed the point of minimalism. Minimalism is to get rid of, not excess, get rid of things you don't want in your life, so you have more time and energy and money for things that you do want in your life. Don't be ashamed to get to that step. I think that a lot of people are afraid to take the next step, and I think that's what a lot of people kind of get stuck in the cycle of decluttering and get kind of obsessive, because I think sometimes people, you know, and myself included, we're afraid to take the next step. So like that'll bring me into point number 4. Don't be afraid to do what you wanted to do. So I like to believe that the reason people start their journey in minimalism is because we want to dedicate more of our time and our energy and our resources to the things that we really wanted to do. For whatever reason it may be, whether it be, you know, you're ashamed, you don't, or you feel you don't deserve it, or whatever, you feel you can't have or do the things that you wanted to do. Now is the time to be strong and say, yes, I can have those things. So I'll use myself as a personal example. I felt that I was not pretty enough, not talented enough, not whatever to make a YouTube channel. But that was a thing that I really wanted to do since I was in high school, from like when YouTube first became a thing. Actually, even since like elementary school in grade 8 when I was filming videos with my best friend, I felt like I really wanted to do it. And it took me nearly like 12 plus years to finally get the courage to do it. And I thank minimalism being a big part of that, for having let me declutter other things out of my life. My shopping addiction, I think, was really stopping me from starting my YouTube channel, because I spent all my time and all my energy on shopping, and that wasn't fulfilling me. But now that I'm like making my YouTube channel thing happen, I'm so, you enter a different world, you know. So I think that don't be afraid. Take that step. Don't be afraid. Let go of the decluttering obsession and move on to the next chapter of your life, and do what you want to do, what you wanted to do with your time, your energy, and your space. And last one, number 5. Do you guys remember that story about the dad who had a huge garage full of junk, and he just kept decluttering and decluttering while his son was playing out in the backyard? I think it was like a 4-year-old son was playing in the the driveway with like his toy, and the neighbor was like, do you really need that much stuff? Your son's playing alone by himself. And it was true. Like, the father would spend his entire weekends, you know, just decluttering and cleaning the garage. And his son, you know, childhood isn't forever. It was passing them by, and he wasn't spending the time with his son. And then one day he decided he didn't want to deal with his garage anymore. So he got rid of everything, and he just spent it with his son. Well, you know, I think that's kind of like, you got to make that jump. You know, if that father didn't make that jump from dealing with his garage and moving on to what he wanted to do, which was spend time with his son, it's hard. I think the reason I said the story is because I wanted to say that if the father stayed obsessed with the garage, thinking, you know, I'll play with my son when I'm done with the garage, he was never going to finish with the garage. You need to stop what you're doing with the metaphorical garage. You need to say, fuck it. Leave that shit alone, and you need to go do what you need to go do. You need to do your passion. You need to do what fulfills you. You need to do that. You need to stop with the decluttering. It's never gonna stop, because there's always gonna be less and less you can declutter. I know it's weird, right? You think I have so little. What more could I declutter? It's not gonna stop. Take it from me. It's not gonna stop. You need to decide to stop. Wow, this seems like Alcoholics Anonymous. But I just wanted to share that with people. So yeah, to kind of like wrap up my video, how to get out of the obsession, the cycle of decluttering, is to move on to the next step, and that's ask yourself, what did I want to do when I first started my minimalist journey? So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these kind of videos, or if you have some topics or something you'd like to suggest, leave it in the comment section down below. And if nothing else, thank you so much for having watched my video. I really hope that this helped you. You know, I wish that I had seen a video like this when I started or was in my obsession several months ago, about like a year ago. Again, so till next time. Bye.